Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bookmark. My name is Mriganka,
I am Kasturi.
and we are here to talk about books. Since it's the first episode of our podcast, let's talk about why did we take up reading? Because in today's world, I don't think people read a lot, right? I read it somewhere. I read it somewhere actually that around 20% of the people actually read books, and it's dwindling every day. So, Kasturi,
Yeah.
can you probably tell me, like, why did you start reading?
Okay. So my main reason to start reading, like I actually began reading when I was, I think, 12 years old, 11, 12 years old. And I used to read, I started with Sidney Sheldon. I forgot the name of the book, but I started with that book by the author. And I could not put the book down. I was reading, I devoured it in what, 2, 3 days. And while I was reading, I felt like, okay, this is an escape. This is something that you can actually, it's like a getaway for you from this entire the chaos that we face in a day-to-day life. It is what an escape is for me. But when I was so in India, I think you everyone knows here that there are certain there's certain stop to certain things when you are in teenage, or you're in your 20s, like when you are in your 10th or 12th, you're supposed to focus on studying your academic line. But what I did was I did start I did started reading, but eventually I had to stop because all of those things, and then I completely stopped. Like 10 years of my life I just stopped reading. And I think it was I was 20, just 3 years back I started reading again. And the first book that I picked up was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. And you know how special that book is for me. And
Yeah, yeah, of course.
I cannot even imagine a life without a book now. So what
Okay.
what what is your take on everything? Like, why did you start reading? Or
Yeah, I think I started off reading when I was very young. I do not remember the age. I picked up this book called Famous Five by Enid Blyton. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I don't remember the name of the book. It was based on the Famous Five series. Like it was one of the books, and I was drawn to it when I started reading off. I think it was the first time that I read a novel. I had read comics earlier, and they used to be graphical, but I think books are always special because if I tell you, or if I read this particular line, that on a stormy night, I was walking through a road. There were houses, there was someone who was stalking me, and the feeling was eerie. Now, when I say these particular sentences, the kind of walk that this person was taking, the kind of night, the kind of color is different in everybody's eyes. I think, right? So I think that's what reading books mean to me. Like uh, it gives you, or rather, it's a doorway into a world which I think heightens the emotions, heightens the imagination, and I just love that. I just absolutely love that. Okay. So I
yeah,
think that was
I
the
think
book I first read. Yeah, yeah.
I think the problem with the current generation is uh, that they believe that if you are um, so they don't read books much. Like whenever I see a young, a teenager, or even someone from my age in our country, I do know that there are readers, like readers everywhere around the world or around the country. But what I but the number of people reading is, you know, is less from what I can
Yeah,
see from other people. Like, I have been following certain accounts on Instagram and I see them, and I see them recording videos of other people, reading in the park, in in cafes. I can see them reading. But that culture in India is, I think it is yet to come.
hmm,
But I hope it does come, because if I have to give an advice to any of my nieces or nephews, I'd always tell them that you have to read books. Like,
yeah, yeah.
don't and just don't go for, self-help books. Like, people, what they don't understand about books is, they it is not easy for you to figure out what genre you're into. Okay, genre, however it's pronounced, I don't know.
Hmm,
It means, it's very important for you to find that. Once you
hmm,
do find it, you know that you're going to love books. Because I have seen so many people, they want to read, they just, they tell me that, suggest me a book that I want to read. But I tell them that, first figure out your, try every other book.
hmm,
Try a classical book, try an Indian author, try a Russian author. Start,
hmm,
like, if you are comfortable, start with Wuthering Heights. I myself, I did start reading Wuthering Heights, but it was very difficult for me to understand it in the first go. Then I did it take, like, second time, third time, and then third time. I'm not ashamed to say that, but then that's what I after three times, the third time, I understand what the book was about. And
hmm.
you have to find the right genre to catch, to just find the perfect match. And then once you do find it, you you will never put it down. Like, take it
Right.
from
And
someone. You have seen me, that I used to doom scroll all the time.
hmm,
And I used to hear you telling me that, check your screen time. It's high time you should check your screen time. But and once I did check my screen time, and it was horrible. I did not tell you that. I'm sorry. It was horrible. And somewhere along the line, I started reading books, and then I started going slow, you know, and then I found my perfect match. And then I was like, okay, now I can get into it. Now I just forget sometimes that, okay, I do have a phone. And I think it's the same for you. I have seen you when
yeah,
you
yeah,
are
of
into
course.
reading, and I that's what everyone should understand. Like, what's your take on it?
No, I agree with you that, like I mentioned, no, that sentence, like, when you read every sentence in that book, in any book rather, you imagine that world in a different way. And I think
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. And quite agreed with you when it came to the part where you suggested that people should read more, because it enhances your imagination, it enhances how you see the world as well. Because two readers reading the same book will never imagine a particular place in the same way,
In the same
until and
way.
unless
Yeah.
it's an autobiography and you are imagining the place.
Yeah.
I think even then there will be nooks and corners of the place which will be very different. And I
Exactly.
think that's the beauty of reading books. Since we are here and you mentioned about self-help books and I also mentioned in the intro, i think
It is
it's i
going to
think
be
it's only
controversial.
I think it's only fair that we bring this about. Why do we not like self-help books? And I'll be very vocal about it, so I'll go first. uh, Again, I mean, so I heard this in a podcast. If you read autobiographies, if you read uh, any kind of books which are not self help, I think they help you more than going for a book which is self help. Uh, I do not really understand self help. Let me put it like that. Like, with all due respect to the authors, I mean, they have put
Yeah.
down a book on a shelf. We haven't done that. So
Yes,
I
we
think
haven't done
all
that.
due, all
But we
due,
are allowed to have
we are allowed to have, yes,
our own, yeah, views, or,
yes,
We are definitely allowed
Yes,
to have that.
yes, of course. And I think when it comes to self-help, I don't really see why it is so necessary. And I think in today's world, or rather in India, I can speak for the people that I have met. I think it's more about a style statement than anything else. I have met people who are, to use the word, pricks, but they will actually have a book like The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up, or something like all those books, like whatever.
Yeah, that's why we are not into self-help books because we don't
Yes,
even remember the name. That is
we
how
don't
much
remember
we
the
have.
names.
We haven't gone. We don't have it. Like, I did try. I will not lie to you. I did try reading it.
So did I. Yeah,
I tried my best, but I could not focus it on it for more than 15-20 minutes.
I thought you
And
would say seconds, but yeah.
I was being modest. But I tried, and I really respect the authors who uh, write those books because they don't just write it, you know, hey, I want to write a book, and they just wrote the book. No, it doesn't happen like that. It's years and years of research, and then you go. But as a reader, you are allowed to have a choice.
Yeah,
You are
yeah,
allowed to
completely.
have, if you love reading contemporary romance, go for it. If you want to read
Yeah,
rom-com, go for it. If you want to read thriller, if you want to read dystopian, you want to read anything, just go for it.
yeah,
Until and unless it is making you feel good, it is giving you a route to escape the world right now, because that
mm-hmm.
is my reason. Like, I life has been teaching me a lot of lessons on its own.
Yeah,
And if I have to, and we are both corporate employees, come on, we
yeah,
do need a break of from everything. Even
yeah.
if in my break I'm reading um 70 this of this and do this, and then you'll just be amazing or something like that. It doesn't happen. I mean,
I agree. Yeah,
not for me, and I believe not for you as well.
yes, absolutely. So, Kasturi, since we are at the topic of books, I think it's only fair to give people what they had come for. So, let us discuss the current book that we are reading. You can go into the author, you can go into the genre, you can go into the book itself. Your choice. Over to you.
So I'm currently reading this book called Atmosphere. It is Taylor Jenkins Reid's latest novel. It is set during the NASA space shuttle program in the 1980s. So it basically, it follows this uh, our protagonist Joan Goodwin, who gets a once in a lifetime opportunity to be an astronaut. And this story is not just about her love for space. It also features how you are chasing your biggest dreams, how you are finding love in unexpected places, and how you are building incredible friendship along with your training, and also figuring out who you are along the way. And this book had me literally weeping by the end of the book, because how helpless will you feel if you are on earth and the love of your life is stuck in the space because of an incident, and all you can do is just give her that comfort through your voice because she's in mission control, and just trying to comfort the love of her life, and just making sure that she gets home safely. So, and yeah, I mean, this book, it should be, I know there are many, certain words related to NASA and then space program. Sometimes it does get confused for someone like me. It was confusing, but at the end, I also felt like it was also a great learning. Like, I did really enjoy it. How about you? What are you reading? Because I am really excited for you to say that. And I would also, allow you to give me some phrases.
I think I owe that much to you. So the current book that I'm reading, it's the third in the Ecotar series. It's a very popular series. Uh, a lot of people say that it's probably your modern day Harry Potter meets Lord of the Rings meets some romantic novel. So uh, it's written by this amazing author called Sarah J. Maas, whom I'll talk about in the later portion. But the book, I think it's amazing because world creation is something which I feel is the most difficult thing to do. I think if you read the Lord of the Rings, you'll understand how difficult it is to create a world, set the rules, ensure that people obey those rules, and ensure that everything is happening via those rules. I think that's very difficult.
Yeah.
Secondly, even if you look at like a Harry Potter, again, pretty old references, but again, the world building is spectacular, right? And I think
Yeah.
if you read this particular book, which again, I'm very thankful to you for, it does the world building in such a good way. So without giving out too much, it's basically a book about this girl who unwillingly becomes the savior of this mythical land called Prithian. And it's about her, her family, her love, and everything. And it explores this particular person. And through her lenses, you get to see the entire world of Prithian, how people are interacting. By the way, Prithian is a mythical land with mystical creatures divided into seven courts, each with a High Lord with a different power. So, a lot of things, a lot
A
of
lot
things to
of
unpack,
things.
a lot of things to unravel, and superb. The pace of the book is great. Uh, Again, I want to talk about the author so much that I'll just bring her right up. So I always see this when people write. I do not have like a term, or I do not know the term of what this particular thing is called. So when you notice a writer describing a meadow, it will probably be the person going to the meadow, the author describing how beautiful the meadow is, and the story then takes it from the description, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Sarah J. Maas has a different style, which is the character goes and it's like a lens that follows the character. The character moves, interact with objects, talks to friends, talks to people, and through her lens you get to see the meadow. You understand what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not about the it does not feel like the description is not part of the story. It feels like the description is ingrained within the story, and I think that's absolutely brilliant. And I have read a lot of books, but I was recently again introduced to this genre, which is romantic. How to pronounce
Romanticy.
it? Romanticy.
Romanticy.
And I think it's good because I never thought of myself as reading a book which is about romance. I honestly do not think that it's a love story. It's about the story of a girl and her trials and tribulations as she navigates her world
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
this
I mean,
mysterious world of Prithia.
it's not a love story. Like calling it a love story, I don't believe it to be a love story because this book has everything. When I say
Hmm.
everything, everything. Be
Hmm.
be it a found family, be it
It's a
um,
masala book.
it's a masala book. Yes, it'll also teach you different struggles in your family. It will teach
Yeah.
you um, do not judge a book by its cover. I, I have seen people doing that, judging a book by its cover. You can also see. I'm not sure how clear it is, but you can see a quote of Mist and Fury. You can see Silver Flames there. I got the books and I just devoured all five books, and I'm excited for the sixth and the seventh book in the series. I am.
I
I
think
truly am.
I am getting there, and so far it's been 2 weeks since I picked up. I have again, I don't I don't know what's the correct word, but I just ran through the books. I think two books are done. I've just started the third book already, like 400 odd pages done, and really excited. So I think we talked about our books
Yeah.
and why we love reading and why we just do not like self-help books.
Yeah.
So let us do
Sorry,
something fun.
authors.
Sorry, authors, again. I think let us do something fun. I think
I
you
have
had
something fun prepared.
yes. Over to you.
So I want to be very Karan Johar on this. Okay.
Mhm.
We'll do a rapid fire now.
Yeah.
Okay. So rapid fire starting now.
Okay.
Kindle or physical books?
Physical books.
physical books as well. Also, but if I am really poor, I'll definitely go for a digital format. I cannot buy a physical book; it's very costly.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
would you like to annotate or keep books pristine?
Pristine. I do not like writing on
I
books.
I go for annotate. I like I want to make sure that this is the line that I fell in love with. So, um, one sitting or savor it for days.
I think third option, keeping something because you know that if you read that, it will be the end of that entire chapter and you do not want to do it. So probably not the third option, the second option, or rather, if you are so busy that you do not have the time to pick another book. So I think yeah, one of these. What about you?
I One sitting, definitely one sitting. If I like the book, you have seen me
Yeah, yeah.
reading it throughout the
It
night.
happens
I
like
cannot.
this.
Yeah, I cannot keep it down. Sorry. Um,
Yes.
okay. Currently, this particular format is coming. It's very popular right now. It's audiobooks. What
Yeah.
is your take on it? Like, do you like audiobooks or do you don't like audiobooks? Yes or no?
No, I do not like audiobooks. Do you want a
I
reason?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So, okay. So, let me first understand what's your take. Like, do you like audiobooks? Do you not like audiobooks?
If it has graphic adaptation,
Yeah.
I like it. But again, I mean, when I read it, I have certain voices in my head that okay, this particular voice belongs to this particular person, or this particular voice belongs to this particular person.
Hmm.
When I read the non-graphic adaptation version of the book, I get disappointed.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of in the middle. Maybe yes, no, maybe audiobooks. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I think I do not like audiobooks because I feel that when it comes to a story, it's best explained or best narrated if you are reading it and you are imagining or you are seeing it on the screen. If you just listen to the audio medium, it's more like
mm,
someone telling you the story.
yeah,
And I don't think it's something, although like that's the realist form of storytelling, but
mm,
I do not personally enjoy it. I like to have my own imagination. And secondly, I think that you know it's also very, I would say, all the platforms that are there, be it like an Audible or something, I do not think they have done that great a job in promoting audio content. So I don't think it works for me.
also, I'm always having this trouble with audiobooks, so I am very close to no, but maybe I'll keep it on maybe, respecting all the read, readers. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, this is a very typical question that I get everywhere. Do you like books with happy ending or do you like books with heartbreaking ending?
I like books which closes the loop. So if it's a story, it has a start, middle, and end.
Yeah,
So I think if it's a full story, depend even if it's like a heartbreaking end, but if it's
yeah.
like a full end, it does not end on a cliffhanger, then I think I like them.
And
What about you?
cliffhanger should be reasonable. Reasonable as in
Huh.
when you read Sarah J. Maas, her books,
It's ending the
um,
loop. It essentially is
it
ending
ends
the
the
loop.
loop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You also are craving for the next book, but it ends in a loop. So that is what I like. But some books they just abruptly ends, and I'm like, what?
So for people who are into movies, we kind of are talking about a Marvel end game and not the one before that. I think that's Infinity War. So you have like
Yeah.
a bit of an abrupt end there. So
Yes.
not that one, but
Yeah.
definitely end game. That's what we like.
Okay.
Yes.
Last question. Sorry, second last question, because the last
Yeah.
question is kind of personal for me as well. Standalone or series?
I think both work. Both work.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so there is a writer that I would like to recommend. He is my favorite writer. His name is Matthew Riley. He is an Australian superb writer. Now he
Yeah.
has this thing
Superb.
where he has a character, like he has a character, and those that character is placed in many books, but they are not necessarily linked to one another. They are stories in his lifetime, but one story does not lead to the other. So I think those kind of books I like, and I prefer both standalone and series. What about you?
Both. If it is a romance, contemporary romance novel, then I would prefer standalone. But I'm
Mhm.
also okay with interconnected book series. Like sometimes in a romance novel, what happens is that it ends with a particular story, but then the next book continues with their best friends or someone from their circle. I like that. I definitely like that. Um, but I'm also a big fan of series because I don't ever want a book to end. I love reading series. I love the world building. So yeah. But okay, coming back to my last rapid, I don't know if this is a rapid fire round question, but if you had to describe your reading personality in 3 words, what would it be?
Fast paced, imaginative, or
Yeah.
rather slash world building,
Hmm.
and third would be great characters with good backstories.
Emotional, delusional, and last, chaotic. You have
Hmm.
seen me in all these 3 versions. So yeah, these three what I would like to describe personality with.
Fair enough. I think we have covered what we are, who we are, what we plan to do with
Yeah.
this podcast. Lastly, just to keep the people engaged, can you tell me, or rather, can you tell the viewers where or what will our podcast consist of, so that they can hop into the channel whenever they feel like and can enjoy the content? Can you tell them?
Absolutely. This particular podcast will include um, book reviews, discussing certain authors, their writing style. We'll also give you listings about which authors we like reading, which series we like this year or in our life, or we'll also give you certain listings about how if you are a new reader, how, like what kind of a journey you should take in order to find the perfect match for you. Um, yeah, I think these are the. Is there anything that I'm missing that you would like to add?
I think it's like we stated at the start of the podcast. It's everything about books. Okay,
Yeah,
everything about books.
anything and
But
everything.
a slight disclaimer: we are not authors. We are not people who are critical
Yeah,
about books. We are not book reviewers. We do it for fun. This is
we do it
something
for fun.
that we have started just because we want to have fun, build a small
Yeah,
community who reads books like us and who can have fun with us. That's the entire purpose of this podcast. It's called Bookmark because of that, because essentially we want to build a community that can help us bookmark certain books which we really
yeah,
like to read.
definitely.
That's what we plan to do.
Yeah, I mean, in one line, if I have to say, then two individual trying to find a community who will help them grow, and will also make sure you grow, and will also make sure that we are having fun through this podcast, and just enjoy the podcast. That's what we actually want. And we did debate a lot about starting this podcast, and finally we are here, and I'm so happy that we are doing this. And so yeah, just enjoy it.
So
And
mostly
of
mostly
course, we're
about
open to
mostly about
suggestions.
having fun. Mostly
Mostly
about
about
having
having
fun.
fun, and we are open to
Okay.
suggestions. And
Yes.
we are open to suggestions, and I hope this continues.
Yes, I hope that too. So again, thank you guys for watching us. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Really good to start this, and hope to see you in our next content. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.